Body. If you like the kind of work that I do here and you would like to support the channel, there are some links to all of that in the description. Perhaps a pinned comment. Anyway, on to today's video. Kind of continuing on from a couple of my last videos, and also I will mention here and tie into all of this a debate that I saw, well, literally like 5-10 minutes of a debate that I peeped on modern day debate between some guy named T-Jump and some other crazy mofo. Uh, Real quick, make of that what you will. This T-Jump guy, just a complete moron. I mean, it's just so cringeworthy and embarrassing listening to him speak. And unfortunately, this is true of a lot of these atheists, at least online. I'm not talking about atheists in general. It's just the ones that think that they know and they come online to try to proselytize their religion. These dudes are completely irrational. They're buffoons. They don't make any sense. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make, well, one of the points, but something that a lot of atheists seem to miss, because this is what I think. I think as soon as someone starts, just mentions God and gives you the feeling that it doesn't just outright reject God, right? Like, I don't think I've ever in any video even said that maybe I have, I don't remember, because it's not something that I really care to talk about that much, but I don't believe I've ever said, and if I have, it's, once or twice, that I believe in God, right? Because it's mostly irrelevant to the topic of these videos, right? I'm not trying to proselytize. I'm not trying to make it about me. I'm just talking about concepts, right? Just because I call a fool, I mean, it's not really who the video is about, right? Anyway, I don't believe, definitely not in the last couple of videos, I didn't say that I believe in God. I didn't say that you should believe in God. I didn't say that believing in God is rational, right? I didn't say any of that in my last couple of videos. But if you don't just outright reject God, right? Ridicule God, or let your viewer know that you think that idea, the belief in God, is ridiculous, right? These atheists who really hijacked the term to mean, and then they pretend that it means agnostic, right? Oh, I just don't know. And this is the dishonesty of atheism, right? They're saying, I lack the knowledge, right? I lack the belief in God. I am not convinced that God exists, right? Well, if you're not convinced that he exists, then you're also not convinced that he doesn't exist, right? So you're agnostic. You simply don't know. That is who you claim to be. But to say that you are atheist, it means you're anti-God, anti-theism. It means you don't believe in God. Like, you can't even be honest to begin with. How can we have a worthwhile conversation with people who are either too ignorant to understand who they are, or they are just outright dishonest? But atheism, as it exists, at least here online, as propagated by these so-called atheists, atheism, which isn't necessarily to say that this is true of all the atheists, but atheism in general is extremely dishonest. And if it can't even be honest about what it is, then how valid can it be? It's not true, at least in that sense, right? You could be right. Maybe God doesn't exist, but at the very fucking least admit that that's what you believe. Jesus, be honest. Anyway, this Jump guy and tons of other atheists, I've heard them do this, seen them do this. And that kind of ties back into the point that I was making about scientism in general. Just as they don't seem to understand or are dishonest about the meaning of the word atheist, they don't seem to know or are dishonest about the meaning of theory. Okay, what is a theory? It's a supposition, right? Do we need to look up supposition, people? Do we? Here we go. An uncertain belief. Okay? It's something you believe, but you aren't certain about. Okay? That's a theory. Right? It's just a belief. That's all that it is. I'm not saying there's no evidence for it, but you haven't proved that there isn't any other conclusion to the evidence that you may or may not have found. Right? And later on, it tells you Darwin's theory of evolution, right? It's one of those theories. But these people think that if they just put scientific in front of the theory, somehow the theory is no longer a theory. No, all that scientific means is that we observed something in the natural world, right? That's science. Observing things, examining things, conducting experiments. We've observed something, and we believe, right? Some of you do anyway, that evolution, for example, explains some of these things that we observed in the natural world. And you build this elaborate theory, right, for which you don't have any proof. That's why it's just a theory. It's just a supposition. It's just a belief. Okay? Just as religious people believe in God, you believe in these various scientific theories. But atheists think that simply because something is a theory, right, on which a worldview is based, and then various authorities or organizations or whatever, people make you live, or they create rules, right, for life in accordance with these theories, such as a germ theory, right? There's also the terrain theory, which is opposed to the germ theory. And there are lots of scientists who believe the terrain, who, believe and are more convinced by the terrain theory, but they are silenced, okay? They don't get any grants. They are suppressed, and their view is expunged as much as possible from public access. Okay? And the same goes for people who oppose the Darwinian theory of evolution, because it's fucking nonsense. It's ridiculous. If you just think about it logically, but maybe I'll make another video about that. If you just think about what it is that you're actually saying you believe happened, it takes so much more of a leap of faith to believe in Darwinism than God. Okay? And I'm not saying there's proof for either one. But the tremendous and amazing leap of fucking faith. I'm going to give you one example. Provided by David Berlinski many years ago. Right? What you're saying, this would be an analogous claim to what Darwinian evolution is claiming. Not even as crazy as that, but comparable. And something that, you might expect to be able to observe in our world, okay? In order to show that this sort of idea, this sort of concept, this sort of progression, if you will, this sort of development or what have you, that the Darwinian theory claims is possible in the natural world, it would prove that that sort of thing is perhaps possible. That's all that it would prove. But this is what you would have to see. For example, you'd have to see, as again David Berlinski points out, a bunch of, let's say, Spanish monks copying the novel Don Quixote, right, in Spanish, and due to, I don't know, you tell me how many, right? That's another criticism of Darwin's theory of evolution. Due to hundreds, thousands, millions of copying errors, right? They just copy this book in Spanish over and over and over and over again. And then finally, they end up with Romeo and Juliet in English, right? This is what you're saying evolution is capable of. Due to a bunch of random fucking copying errors, right? You go from Cervantes's Don Quixote to Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, or something along those lines, right? This is what you're saying is possible. I think, just my opinion, I think it's far more likely that someone just created, okay, wrote. I'm just saying, I don't know, it's just a belief, but I think it's far more likely that somebody created Don Quixote, and maybe that person or another person, or God, wrote Romeo and Juliet. I think that's a little bit more believable. I'm just saying. I am just saying. So, this is, I don't know if this is a circular reasoning. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. But atheists will take this term theory, which just means belief, and simply because this belief is being applied to rule over our action, our daily lives, right? Wear a mask because germ theory, right? Wash your hands because germ theory, something that's never been proved. We've never been actually able to observe what viruses actually do in the human body. We've never isolated, right? Legitimately isolated a pathogenic virus. That's never been done. Scientifically, never been done. We've never observed what a virus actually does in the body. But we have these ideas about how it exists, right? Even though it's dead, it's somehow alive. Even though it's dead, it somehow mutates, right? Like, I mean, that's just, and this is why the theory of evolution is so destructive. One of the reasons. There are so many different reasons. And because the germ theory, in my opinion, could not even exist if it wasn't for Darwin's evolutionary theory, right? It couldn't even exist in the first place. And it still seems to contradict. And more bullshit had to be tacked on to the germ theory, right? That's never even been asserted by Darwin, that dead things somehow mutate. I mean, how the fuck does that happen, right? How did dead things have agency? How did dead things do anything, right? But, and we're not just talking about chemical reactions either, right? But I don't think the germ theory could have even existed without Darwin, right? Because mutations and evolution and virus evolving. But even the germ theory, even though it's loosely based on the Darwinian theory of evolution, it contradicts it at the same time in more ways than one. Like the fact that, a virus will mutate to become more deadly, which means it's more likely to kill the host and less likely to survive, right? So that's not actually an adaptation for the survival of the virus. And yet somehow it happens, and that virus somehow persists, even though it becomes deadlier to its host without whom it cannot exist, meaning it's becoming deadlier to itself, right? Because evolution and survival of the fittest. Like, it doesn't fucking make any sense. None of this makes any sense. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. Just look at it logically. It doesn't make any sense. But going back to maybe I'm wrong about this exactly, but this seems like circular thinking to me, reasoning to me, right? Theory being a belief, it's applied as if, just because it's applied, this belief, to make us do certain things, right? And you could say the same about church, right? We believe in God, and we believe in, these morals handed down from God, blah, 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 even though there's more evidence for that than evolution. So we're going to live our lives according to these moral precepts because God, right? Something along those lines. But no one takes that and says, "Oh, that's because God exists. It's because we're moral," right? I don't think that's an argument in any way, shape, or form. But atheists or people possessed by scientism will take this theory, which is just a belief. It's just a supposition, right? Which is an uncertain belief, and simply because it's applied into our lives to make us, and it's used to direct the way in which we live and how we conduct ourselves, right? That somehow gives it veracity to these people, and it becomes scientific. And all of a sudden, a theory is no longer a belief, but it's fact, simply because we're being made to live in accordance to this scientific belief. And then a theory becomes something else simply because you put scientific in front of it, right? Like these people, they don't even speak English, right? Because materialism, it's fucking, this shit's just incoherent. It has to be incoherent because the basis of materialism, they don't make any sense. So everything that follows, or at least a lot of, not to say that, you couldn't be wrong in your presupposition and still make sense when it comes to certain things, but you start seeing all these contradictions and all this incoherence in the words and the presuppositions or the assertions of all these people possessed by scientism or materialism, whatever the fuck have you, right? It should poke holes in, it should make you want to investigate the presuppositions on which it's based. Because if a lot of the times, or ultimately, if you take this worldview to its logical extension and you just come up with gibberish or lack of logic, right? And what's lack of logic? Well, at least one ways in which you show that there is no logic is when someone pretends that, or seems to claim that two contradictory things are true at the same time, right? So when you run into these sort of contradictions or things that are completely irrational and unacceptable, unreasonable, right? Then you have to rewind, go back and start questioning your presuppositions. If a lot of the time the conclusions drawn from your presuppositions are doo-doo, it's likely that you stepped in shit a long time ago and never cleaned that shit off your shoes. Basically is what I'm saying, all right? So a theory, I don't give a fuck if it's scientific, right? And I just explained to you why. It's still just a belief. Go read the fucking dictionary, all right? How about, if you are going to debate, and I'm not even debating anything with anybody, I'm just telling you how things are. And if you think I made a mistake somewhere along the way, point out the mistake. Don't come over here saying like, oh, you believe in God, you bad, you silly. Like, those are not arguments. And I'm not even telling you to believe in God, nor have I really try to impress onto other people that I do or don't, right? And we haven't even begun to define what God is. Not to go Jordan Peterson on all of you, but he had the right fucking idea. You got an tangent before we wrap up. You got an atheist wanting to get Jordan Peterson to commit to what God means, right? And Jordan Peterson is being wishy-washy because he knows, as I know, as you should know, if you don't define God before you get into a conversation or a debate with an atheist, they're going to define it for you later on, right? Spaghetti monster, a big bearded daddy up in the sky, right? Like this type of nonsense. So it's perfectly rational to ask a dumb ass fuck atheist to define fucking God. So there is no misunderstanding. When, right, we have to make sure we have the same foundation and understanding of these concepts before we could proceed. So to ridicule someone for asking an atheist to define God isn't very smart. Because atheists define God in a different way that a Christian might. They do. So you have to first make sure that you're talking about the same thing. And if you don't make them define it at the beginning of the conversation, they sure as hell will do it later for you and project that definition onto you as if that were what you believed, doing nothing but strawmanning your position. So whatever. Long story short, what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah. Atheism is just super dishonest. Or ignorant, whatever the fuck. I guess it just depends on the atheist. So, if you're going to come over here and try to debate some stuff or poke holes in some of the things that I said, at the very fucking least, make sure you speak English. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.